Hi everybody, welcome to this quick 9 general wind direction playthrough for the division and dates shown on screen right now. All 9 holes, timestamps in the description down below. Please hit thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Remember to check out our channel homepage. There is daily quick 9 content available for multiple divisions. Please remember some of these replays may be from the time before Playdemic changed the attribute levels. On this par 4, we're going to land on that small strip of fairway, swing the ball round. Bullseye in the middle of the narrow part of the fairway at the top of +10 with APOC 5 and above. P6 max rest with APOC 4, that will be +16. Going with 5.8 topspin and 3 right spin. Please note though, in headwind you will not be able to play this route and will need to lay up on the left-hand side and try and swing the ball round with as much distance as you can for a wood club, or maybe, if you're lucky, a long iron approach with a higher power ball. But level crosswind, minor headwind, you might be okay here, but definitely any tailwind, you can play aggressively. Adjustment is max +10, full overpower with half a ball of curl to the right, and then of course hit perfect with this narrow strip of fairway. Minor greats should be all right with APOC 5 and above, but we want to try and hit perfect if we can. Top spin takes us nicely, and we're going to end up with a short iron shot from here. Drive distance of around 412 yards. You can see I'm just over mid distance of my club here. I'm finding my min and max lines, but obviously if you're dialing this one in, get yourself a reference check if possible. Landing on the fringe gives me a very nice bounce point here. It's consistent, so I aim with the ball guide through the hole and then add backspin as needed and maybe some side spin to offset in the event of crosswind to get the ball guide just finishing to the front edge of the cup. A little bit short though, obviously, with tailwind. If you've got crosswind, ball guide level with the pin, headwind, ball guide slightly through the hole to compensate for that second bounce wind effect. In all wind angles here, I would suggest you play with 10% elevation as your starting point and play true club distance. So here I'm just over mid distance, so I would set the slider accordingly. Centre the ball and it's time to hit perfect, and you have got a very good chance here to drop. If you don't get the drive distance that I had, you could still try and have a go with your long iron instead. We've got a hole-in-one to show you here with a quarterback and a kingmaker. Half a bar of backspin and 2 bars of side spin to the left. Add your spin and then find your position here with the red ring touching the rough, and look at the ball guide where the tip of the ball guide is pointing here. Let's just see what I settle on. As you see, we're going to offset to the left, so it's just pointing a square to the left. Now here the cliff is in the way, so I have to push rings, which I find very laborious, but the adjustment is maximum distance plus 20%, and that's power 3 settings. Max 20, and again I push 4 rings at a time because I'm clumsy, but you might be able to do 5 at a time if you're a bit more accurate. Perfect ball, we hit here and it bounces very nicely, and just look at the camera angle, it stays zoomed out and we know it's going to be close. And look at this one, we do sneak it in on the left edge there, so it's a chance, and you've only used a kingmaker, so what more can you want? On this par 5, we're going to go with a kingmaker, and we're going to play APOC sniper. P6 max rest with APOC 5 and 6 red ring touching the rough. APOC 4, you would need to stretch out 1.7 rings. You'd have 20% of the red ring inside the rough. Adding spin, 5.8 top spin and 3 left spin. And with APOC 4, after you adjust, you would have to push up 1.7 rings to compensate for lack of distance. If you've got extra mile 9, Thor's hammer 6+, you could play with those drivers, gives you more top spin if you don't have APOC 6 and above. If you do have APOC 6 and above, play with more top spin, you'll get more distance on your drive. I would recommend you go with as much top spin as possible if you don't have tailwind. Full overpower, it is a slow needle, and we're going to focus on hitting perfect, and we want to bounce beautifully away from the rough. Obviously you're not going to get this drive distance if you have any form of headwind. If you do have that, get as far down as you can, or you could play on the right side. In both of those cases, in headwind though, pack the big dog or the cataclysm, and for free to play, just try and get safely to green for your eagle. Second shot though, here in this wind angle, we're going to play with a decent amount of backspin, around 5 bars, and also a little bit of right spin to try and align the ball guide with the wind. Tip of the ball guide about 5 green squares short, and I'm offsetting to the right, as that was what was working in my practice attempt in this wind angle. We are then going to play true club distance, 10% elevation. So +2 was shown for sniper 10. I play that one 75% slider. I'm going to pull twice over the bullseye here, predominantly looking for a free-to-play eagle. Ignore the precision. Like I said, this is just to speed up the content creation process, but this will work absolutely fine with a Kingmaker. Small tweak needed. We're just finishing short in line, so remove a couple of clicks of backspin and we'd have got that one in for the Albatross. On this par 4, you can absolutely, in straight tailwind, send this one with a berserker, but you might not have tailwind all the time. So here is a shot with a little bit of headwind, mainly crosswind. We're setting up at P0 max rest with our APOC, and we're going to add spin. We are going to go with 5.5 to 5.8 top spin and 2 right spin. We'll be conscious of using too much top spin here, as this is a layup shot, so that's why it looked a bit light on the top spin. Obviously, if you have level crosswind, I'd reduce that down to 5 bars, as we don't want to roll in the rough. So setting up with the ring reference as shown for your club level there, 5 and 6, obviously APOC is going to be the same. And we adjust here max +10. If you have a lot of headwind, then again I would set up with the rock or the quarterback and then do a club switch, take a token, find out what works nicely. Bit of curl here to take ourselves away from both the rough on the left and also the rough on the right, because it is very easy to clip the rough on both sides. The good thing about headwind though is you can play from the min line with our sniper. Make sure you have the grizzly in your bag. So from the min line, adding 5 backspin and 1 bar of side spin to the left. And I'm using the left spin so that I'm not adjusting into the stone pillar of that structure there, because that is going to really be difficult and would mess up the adjustments. So that's why I'm using the left spin, so I can set up in the middle of the fairway. Ball guide as shown there. We've got to push rings, otherwise that structure would be in the way. And we're going to play min +25. Min distance, 25 elevation. Obviously, if you have tailwind, as I said at the beginning of the drive video, then you should absolutely look at sending this one. Always use a token if you can get some personal tweaks and shots dialed in. But as a general approach, this one works very nicely playing from min sniper, and here we actually get the drop for the eagle. Now, if you want to support us on Patreon, you can do so. Details on the screen now. As part of your perks on certain days for the Quick Nines, there will be some Patreon exclusive Master General playthroughs for those holes used. So make sure you check us out there. Now, and this is where I think a luminary is great if you can spare one, to be honest. I am going here with 5.8, well, 6 bars of topspin. It's max topspin with APOC 5. 6 topspin and 1.2 bars side spin to the left. Setting up at +19. Blue ring just away from the rough. If you've got APOC 5 though, less accuracy, so you will have some of the blue ring in the rough. Maximum distance +10 is the adjustment with this shot, and then we go to hit perfect. And as you can see, the wind will push us slightly to the left, so that's why I didn't go with the full 2 bars of left spin on this occasion. We do, I believe, have a great right here as well. But look at that, we are nicely down the fairway. Okay, if you want to go with more topspin or want to push it slightly more right, then you can do. Cataclysm with the topspin, just go with whatever wood club is 180 yards and has the most topspin here. For me, it's the Cat 7, and I know I'm blessed to have the topspin that we do have. But go with as much topspin as you can. I'm backing off slightly so that I don't adjust into as much overpower. Aim with the ball guide slightly to the right of centre between the rough and the sand, because the wind will push us left. Adjustment here, I'm playing max +0, even though we are not at max. And I'm using power 5 settings, and this is why a luminary is so good if you've got one here, or the bubba ball, of course. If you go with a Kingmaker, you're going to have to go with 4 or 5 rings of overpower. And then if you're anything like me, you're going to hit a bad great left or great right, and you're going to end up wanting to rescue yourself. As it happens here, look, even with all that topspin, I still am in wedge range, but I'm not threatening the green. So if you do have the confidence to go with more overpower, then do so. I'm going to put the wedge range shot here on for reference. I'm playing Endbringer School, so stretch your target out to max, work out where the pin stands in between your ball and the target. Here I'm estimating this to be 80%. So here's a good reference. If you are in approximately that range with a power 5 ball, 80% is a good benchmark. But look here, I'm finding a landing spot, but look at that. I want to play no spin, but the ball guide is glitching. So I'm just putting a click of backspin on this so that I can still land on the fringe. Then I'm adjusting 20% elevation, 80% slider, which is 12 point something rings. I'm a bit twitchy on this shot, to be honest. This is a little bit of a tester for me, but we manage, even with a minor great ball, God bless the Endbringer, we get this one in very nicely for an eagle. And I know it's not a drop, but it kind of feels like it with this wind direction, honestly. On this par 3, any hint of headwind, I'm going to bounce over from the minimum distance line with the sniper. In tailwind, though, with a power 6 ball, this is not going to be possible. You will need to play a backspin shot from nearer the pin, the other side of the bunker. So at the min line, adding spin accordingly, a little bit of backspin, a little bit of side spin in this wind angle. It is almost straight crosswind, but there is enough headwind elements so not to adjust on the min line. And the adjustment I'm going with here is min plus 30. It is a fair old adjust. You will need to tweak the position of the ball guide depending on your wind angle. But in any form of headwind, playing from the min line is a really good starting point with our sniper. Make sure you've packed the Grizzly so you have a firm min line. If you want to investigate the backspin options, then the Guardian will probably be the club to use for free to play, unless of course you want to go with a wind resistance ball with low power, in which case you might be able to use the sniper. Now, although you can support us financially on Patreon, you can also join as a free member. If you do that, you will get bonus master level text guide content from the Coalition. They produce text guides for free every tournament, free to play balls, and we send those out when they do so. And they very kindly agreed to let me share their archives of all the courses used in this season of Quick Nines for you all to use, because there may be some wind angles that you get as part of the Quick Nines that they have in their archive. So you will receive those if you join us as a free member on our Patreon. APOC 6 or above is preferable here, but it can be done with an APOC 5, but you will need more overpower. Go with max top spin for APOC 5, which is 6 bars, and 3 bars side spin to the right with your Kingmaker. Setup here will be a red ring touching the rough with APOC 5 and 6 due to the accuracy. The adjustment here is max plus 20, but you will need to go with more overpower with lower level APOCs due to having less topspin. Here I go with about 3 to 4 rings with the APOC level 7. Minor great right, go with plenty of right curl as shown. So pause the video or rewind, take some notes there. We just clear it with 7 topspins. That's why I say with a lower level APOC, you'll need to go with, I would say, at least 5 rings of overpower, to be honest. 404 yards is the drive. We were fine with a minor great. Now here I'm estimating club distance, and I go with 80% slider here with the Hornet. Sadly, I estimate this to be a little bit too much. I should have played about 70, maybe 65, 70% on the slider. Either way, you're going to need 6 bars of topspin. And just position yourself here so the ball guide is just going slightly through the hole. We don't want to be short. So I play this 80% slider with 30% elevation. So the options are we either reduce the elevation down to 20 or we go with less slider. Choice is yours here. Either way, with the Hornet, a great ball, you're still going to hit the rough. And a great ball actually misses to the right there. So I do believe we needed to just tweak the adjustment there. This is a very tough par 3 for free-to-play balls. If you don't want a rough bump in any tailwind, I will be going with the Cataclysm, or you could play with the Guardian as well here. With Cat 6, I'm having the blue ring touching the rough on the left at the top of plus 10. Any headwind angle here, then I'd be playing quarterback from the minimum distance line. And then obviously you're going to stick with your driver there. It's only a wood club for tailwind angle. Spin as shown there, this is going to vary greatly depending on your wind angle, so this is more of a safe route to the green, so you know what club range you'll be in and what you might need to pack in your bag. Obviously sniper is not going to reach here from third tee. Adjustment here, max plus 10. And then because we have tailwind, I'm going with just before circle break under power. The spins are going to vary dramatically depending on the wind angle that you have, and obviously here with the spin added, you could see my ball guide was offset considerably left of where it actually ends up due to the elevation. Small tweak needed, we'd actually have had a good chance for the hole-in-one. If you are enjoying the free content here on the channel and want to help out and keep everything free, then please consider making a small donation. All donations are gratefully received and help me out here on the channel, as all of the content here is produced for free in my own spare time. You can do that in one of three ways. You can hit the thanks button here on YouTube, you can make a PayPal donation via the link in the description down below, or you can also join us over on Patreon. Details at the end of the video. On this par 5, looks like it's an NMT setup, but please double check your ring references just in case I'm mistaken there. We are at P6 max rest with our Apocalypse, and you can see level 5 and 6 got a bit of the blue ring overlapping the rough. In the end, I settle with 4 top spin and 2 bars of left spin. I'm actually going to go with an overpower shot here, even though it looks like I'm going to clip the rough and roll out. When I play my shot with the overpower, it will clear very nicely. Adjustment here is max plus 10. One thing to bear in mind here, I am quite close to the rough with my first bounce, so it could well be that I set up further back. You could drag the target back by about 4 or 5 yards, or go with power 4 NMT instead of power 6. Full overpower slow needle. There you can see we are close to the rough though, so any more tailwind and that would have been dangerous. So make sure you back up your target in tailwind. But either way, we clear very nicely, drive distance of 405 yards. Crosswind here is the best chance for a rough bump, so I'm going to give it a go in this example. Finding an estimate of my true club distance. Obviously, if you're playing tournament, you could build in some reference checks, see if you can get a pin check or a fringe check if you're dialing it in according to your particular wind angle. But you can see here, I'm adding spin. With crosswind right to left, I'm offsetting just to the right of the pin. It is tweakable. You could either adjust more if you want to aim at the pin. But with crosswind, the approach I'm using here is playing 0 elevation, true club distance. Bear in mind, if you have more tailwind, you will adjust to a lower point, so you would need to add some clicks of overpower. And similarly, if you have headwind, you adjust up onto the green, which is going to cause you to gain distance, so you might need to go with a click of underpower instead. This rough bump is a little bit technical. I would suggest you practice it, otherwise you might get stuck in the sand if you don't put in enough tweaks for your wind angle that you have. But 0 elevation, true club distance is a very good starting point indeed. Just needed a small tweak to get that one to drop. Thanks very much for watching this video here on the channel. If it has helped you in any way, please consider sharing it amongst your friends and clanmates in the game. Join us also on Facebook. Head over there, search for BK Golf Clash and join our free group. Loads of members there sharing shots. Free guides are posted, as well as loads of other great Golf Clash resources. So check us out there. You can join in the discussion and also leave feedback on the game in general. Finally, if you wish to help support the channel and keep the content free for everybody, please consider becoming a Patreon member. The link is in the video description down below. Good luck, see you soon, bye for now.